Welcome back to Good Morning KU Sports. I'm Ryan and we have a jam-packed show for you guys today. We'll be covering plenty of topics around KU and around the sports world. Ulicia will start us off with a recap of KU's home loss to Texas Tech last Saturday. We'll then hit an NBA offseason preview from Ryan. Jack will take us to the break with an interesting segment on KU intramural basketball. Following the break, we'll go back to Ulicia for her weekly NIL update, followed by a recap of KU baseball's hot start and a segment on the NCAA beach volleyball from Addie. As always, we'll finish with a look at this week's upcoming weather from Olivia. We have some breaking news for you to get started this morning. The Michigan State men's basketball team defeated Iowa last night on the road to capture the outright Big Ten regular season title, the 11th of Tom Izzo's career. KU baseball improved to 11-1 after yet another come-from-behind walk-off victory on Thursday, this time against the Milwaukee Panthers. The game was tied at 3 with bases juiced and 1 out when Michael Brooks lined one right back at Panther pitcher Logan Snow, who then made an errant throw trying to double up the runner at first, allowing the winning run across the plate. The Jayhawks took full advantage of the 3 defensive errors that inning and brought home a W. Even though the KU women's basketball team fell to Texas Tech on Wednesday night, the 14th seed Red Raiders are still alive as they pulled their second upset in as many days with a 75-64 win over Utah. Quarterfinal action begins today with West Virginia and K-State facing off at noon, followed by 1 seed TCU meeting Colorado. The nightcap includes Baylor versus Iowa State and Oklahoma State versus Texas Tech. Let's send it over to Ulicia.
Hello Jayhawks, I'm here in Allen Fieldhouse following a tough loss against Texas Tech, 73-78. Kansas started the game off rocky in the first half, trailing the Red Raiders almost entirely, ending the half 37-48. After a hard-fought battle for the scoreboard, Kansas reclaimed the lead by 1 halfway through the second half. Hunter Dickinson started the game off strong, leading the Jayhawks in buckets in the first and ending the game with 18 points. KJ Adams continued to bring the energy throughout Allen, leading the Hawks in points and hitting a double-double with 21 points and 13 boards. However, Texas Tech came in hot with a 35% three-point percentage and going 88% from the free throw line. Kansas fought until the very end, but came up short when Texas Tech secured the lead with a minute 27 left in the game. The Jayhawks will play their final regular season game in Allen Fieldhouse this Saturday at 3:30 before heading off to the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City.
Thanks, Ulicia. The NBA playoffs are just around the corner, which means that the offseason is soon as well. There are bound to be some big trades this offseason, as some names have been thrown around in rumors. I'm interested to see what will happen to 3 of these big names this offseason and what teams will inquire about them. It is known the Houston Rockets are a team to watch in the trade market this season, as they have a core 7 of young talents and also hold Phoenix's first-round picks for this year, 2027, and 2029. The Oklahoma City Thunder also have a flurry of young talent and first-round picks, which puts them on the watch to potentially trade for a star to play alongside Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Over in San Antonio, Victor Wembanyama is now playing with De'Aaron Fox, but that's not to say they can't make another splash in the market with their picks and some of their players expiring contracts. Let's take a look at Ja Morant. This is the Grizzlies' star's 6th season in the league, and he has averaged 22 points and 7 assists in his career on an efficient 46% shooting from the field. Houston was mentioned to be in the mix if Morant is to be on the market this summer. If that is the case, and Houston does decide to make the move, pairing the 25-year-old next to the 23-year-old Jalen Green would be fantastic for Houston, as they are both explosive guards who can get to the rim and score at the bucket with will. Rafael Stone would have to give up quite a bit to get Morant, but it could be just what the Rockets need to do in order to win. Morant is a win-now player, and Ime Udoka is a win-now coach, so it is a match made in heaven for Houston. However, due to controlling Phoenix's picks and Kevin Durant most likely getting traded, it is not unlikely that he will end up in Space City as well. Trae Young is another name to watch this offseason. The Hawks just traded DeAndre Hunter and Bogdan Bogdanovic, who were some of their win-now players. They can't rebuild through the draft either due to losing their 2025 and 2027 first-round picks in June 2022. Now that they have traded 2 of their best pieces next to Young and have no picks to rebuild with, what's next? It seems like a big trade is boiling. There are multiple teams to watch out for, but the Mavericks could be in the mix with Kyrie Irving tearing his ACL. The Orlando Magic are also a team to watch to pair Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner up with the 26-year-old by trading some of their young pieces and picks to Atlanta. LaMelo Ball's name started circling around as well recently. After a great individual start to his career, despite injuries and no team success, it seems like it is time for him to go to a team that he can win with. Charlotte tried trading their big man Mark Williams to the Lakers for Dalton Knecht. They want to make moves, but with that not falling through, Ball might be next on the trade block for them. The Miami Heat are a team to watch out for. Tyler Herro could go back to his college ways of playing a true shooting guard position, playing off ball, benefiting from Ball's passing ability. He could be that floor general and a great piece after Miami just traded Jimmy Butler. Charlotte's guard could also play with Bam Adebayo, which would be crucial for Miami's floor spacing. The Heat would most likely have to throw in players like Jaime Jaquez and Nikola Jovic as well as some picks, but it would be well worth it because Miami lacks point guard depth and needs a facilitator, so the guard could really shine down in South Beach. Now over to Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan. It's going to be a wild NBA offseason. It already has been. It's been a trade deadline, my fault. We'll be back shortly with NIL updates from Ulysses.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Hello and welcome back. Big Ten Player of the Year Juju Watkins signs a new NIL deal with Degree to promote the brand's whole body deodorant line. Watkins has racked up quite the NIL portfolio, securing deals earlier on with over 20 NIL partnerships including Nike, Gatorade, and State Farm. Part of the deal includes a social media contest where fans can enter to win tickets to men's and women's Final Four with all accommodations paid for. Paige Beckers joins Intuit for their Intuit for Education initiative, expanding its free financial literacy program to college students nationwide. Beckers is no stranger to NIL deals, also having partnerships with big company names such as Nike, Gatorade, and Verizon. She has firsthand experience juggling the finances of NIL and moving forward's guidance with the new generation. The House versus NCAA settlement, which is a massive $2.8 billion deal, is set to transform the financial aspect of college sports. As this is moving closer to reality, all eyes are looking towards U.S. District Judge Claudia Wilkin, who will deliver her ruling on April 7th. The ruling is focused directly on athlete compensation, where if passed, schools will have the ability to share up to 22% of their annual athletic revenue with its players, essentially getting rid of the middleman with strict NIL requirements. The 2025 transfer portal for college basketball will open in about 3 weeks. Due to NCAA structural changes, navigating the portal will be crucial for teams who wish to be tournament worthy. Likely, we'll see NCAA salary cap changes happening soon, with the House versus NCAA settlement taking place. Last year, we had 1,962 Division I players enter the transfer portal. Scouting and reconstructing a roster with so many athletes is no easy job, and we'll see how new regulations affect this big industry. That's all I have on NIL. I'll go ahead and pass it to Jack.
Thanks, Alicia. KU baseball has been rolling these past few weeks, starting the season 11-1 and taking the home opening series 3-1. I would love to credit this hot streak to our beautiful weather, but you cannot discredit the effort and tenacity this Jayhawk squad has shown us as of late. Although Kansas lost on Friday afternoon, the bats did not go quiet. Tommy Barth hit a home run and double, and Jackson Hauge and Michael Brooks both had home runs. The Jayhawks went on to win on Saturday and Sunday afternoon, credited to a stellar appearance on the mound from Manning West, who picked up his second win. West threw 5 strikeouts, only walked 3 Mavericks, and allowed only 2 hits through 5.2 innings of work. The Jayhawks walked off again last night, moving to 11-1 in the season. Let's take a look.
A 1-0 pitch. Hit right back to the mound. It's caught, but a high throw to first. A high throw, and KU will walk it off once again on an airmail throw to first. Kansas does it again in the ninth. 3 throwing errors in the inning. 1 from third, 1 from short, and after a brilliant stab by Snow, a throw that sails high, and KU will win with Williams coming on home. Your Jayhawks, 11-1.
Wasn't the prettiest way to get a W, but as they say, a win is a win. A few keys to victory last night were a stellar performance on the mound from Cooper Moore, striking out 7 Panthers through 7 complete innings and allowing only 2 runs. Brady Ballinger managed a double while center fielder Derek Serta hit a home run, pushing the team home run total to 23. As we look ahead to the next few games with Milwaukee this weekend, the Jayhawks will look to continue their offensive productivity. Now bear with me because I want to analyze the easiest paths the Hawks can take to victory. Offensively, the Jayhawks cannot rely solely on power to propel them through a series win, but rather staying sharp during each at-bat to get the most out of their plate appearances. Power hitters Brooks, Hauge, and Barth combined for 13 home runs each this season, but also rank 1st, 3rd, and 4th in strikeouts, combining for a whopping 30. This is often the trade-off of power threats. So if these guys can become more selective during their at-bats, the scoreboard will undoubtedly reflect their effort. My favorite player this year so far must be Chase Diggins. Diggins, batting just 75 points above the Mendoza line, has been inching towards the top of that stat sheet. 3.62 on-base percentage, 7.37 slugging, 15 total bases, 7 RBIs, 9 runs, 11 hits, and lastly, my favorite statistic of his, 3 strikeouts through 40 plate appearances. This guy doesn't strike out. As baseball's become more and more of a two-outcome sport, strikeout or home run, this is almost unheard of. Is it too early for the Luis Reyes comparison? He's playing out of his mind and will undoubtedly be key for the Jayhawks as they continue against tougher opponents. Once again, I encourage everyone to go to Hoagland this weekend. Today's first pitch is scheduled for noon, and the series will continue through Sunday. That'll be the last chance to catch the Hawks at home until they travel to Minneapolis to take on the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers under the lights at US Bank Stadium. Addie?
Thanks, Jack. Sticking with the collegiate athletics, NCAA beach volleyball is just about halfway through their season, and they have been gaining more and more media attention. Beach volleyball wasn't even sanctioned as a collegiate sport that was eligible to compete in NCAA championships until 2016, but since then it has completely taken off. Competition is played in duels with 10 student athletes split into 5 pairs, and the program has allowed 3 coaches, 2 paid, 1 volunteer. Unlike indoor volleyball, which allows 6 players on the court, beach volleyball is a 2v2 matchup, which means that every athlete must be a utility player that can serve, dig, block, and hit. The pair also must play the match in its entirety, as there are no substitutions allowed in beach volleyball. And because there might be 5 matches happening at once, there might not even be a coach present at every court, similar to tennis, doubles, and singles. Each pair's match is won by the team that wins 2 sets. Each set is played to 21 points instead of 25 for indoor, and a team must win by at least 2 points. If the sets are tied 1-1, the decisive third set is played to 15, where the winner must again win by at least 2 points. Beach volleyball is known to be more physically demanding than indoor, as the sand makes it extremely difficult to run, jump, and maintain balance. Not to mention, 2 players have to cover the size of a court normally 6 players would in indoor. Now that we have the rules and regulations covered, let's dive into how the 2025 season has been going. UCLA and USC have had a constant rivalry, as they are the only 2 teams to win a national championship since it started in 2016, and both teams are off to a hot start again. UCLA started the rankings out as number 1 and have stayed there ever since, going 9-1, only losing to USC. They have ranked wins against Hawaii, Arizona State, LMU, Stanford, and number 4 ranked TCU. USC has had a similar season, just dropping 2 out of their first 3 matches of the season to Loyola and Stanford. They now sit at 8-2, and duo Kalinda Koch and Ella Larkin have been a huge part of that success with stunning defensive plays. TCU has a chance to do something this season that's never been done before: dethrone USC or UCLA. Now, I don't want to say TCU is the only team that has a chance to do that, because anything can happen in sports, but they have looked the most impressive against USC and UCLA this far. Coming off a Big 12 title win in 2024, the Horned Frogs look to make more noise in the tournament this year and will face USC and UCLA 2 more times in the regular season before facing off in the Big 12 tournament against them. The championship will take place May 2nd through the 4th at Gulf Place Beach, Alabama. That's all from me. Back to you, Ryan.
Thanks, Addie. As someone who doesn't know a ton about beach volleyball, it was very interesting to hear about that. We'll see if TCU can dethrone the Trojans and Bruins. After the final break, Olivia will give us a rundown on this week's weather. Stick with us.
Yeah, I always just clap when it's hard.
This is where everyone's talking amongst themselves. Do you know how to do it? Do you know how to do it?
Are we supposed to smile?
When do we start? Somebody over here already started.
Can we talk about the piccolo part? It's the most complicated one.
It is. If you listen, you're doing it when the band's not playing.
You have to tell me when it starts. I still don't know.
Here we go. Just clapping now. No humps.
Nailed it.
I practiced this morning.
Mine was just 2 people.
It has a right and a wrong way of doing it. No. Wrong.
I like my way better.
I don't know how to do the end.
It's just.
I don't know the head.
It's hard by yourself.
Welcome back to Good Morning KU Sports. Now, we've had some interesting weather this past week, having the little bit of snow that we had, the blizzard conditions on Wednesday, and we are not going to be seeing any of that this upcoming week. Now, we are going to be seeing some average temperatures early this weekend, mostly today and tomorrow. I'll go ahead and give you a breakdown of the basketball forecast for the last home game of the season, and we're also going to talk about some above average temperatures that are going to be really occurring throughout all of next week. But first, taking a look outside right now out at West Topeka, it is clear and sunny. There is not a cloud in the sky today. In Lawrence, we're looking at 55 degrees. Winds are pretty quick today, 19 miles per hour. We're having gusts of around 25 to 30 at this time, and gusts are going to continue to increase throughout the afternoon. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but looking out at satellite right now, there's currently a low pressure system that's over Lawrence right now, which is kind of helping us have those clear skies. Up to our north, up in Nebraska as well as Iowa, they're actually experiencing snow, so we're very lucky to not be having that. And then down more in Texas near Dallas and Little Rock as well, they're experiencing some rain showers. None of that weather is really going to come into our area. Instead, we probably will see some of these clouds start to shift more into Lawrence, but weather-wise, we're not really expecting any precipitation. So looking at today, again, we're going to be topping out at our high temperature of 56 earlier this afternoon, and then once those clouds start to roll in and we're going to have those quicker gusts, we're going to start to cool off a little bit throughout the rest of the afternoon. And then this evening, we're going to finally start to see those clouds start to recede a little bit. We're going to be cooling down right to about 26 degrees. That's pretty cold for the evening, but our winds are also going to die down with that trend. Now, looking at temperatures, again, we've really kind of been having this consistent pattern of warming up pretty quickly, and we're seeing that again this week. So again, earlier this week on Wednesday, we were down in the 40s, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're going to be right around our average of about 55, 56, and then really on Sunday and Monday, we're going to see a high increase in our temperatures and be well above normal. I mean, 75 on Monday, that's crazy for this time of year, so definitely something to look forward to if you're going to be out and about. Now for our men's basketball game at home against Arizona, again, we're going to be seeing those near average temperatures tomorrow. We're going to be right around 50 for game time and should be partly sunny to mostly sunny throughout the game. And for our baseball team, they're also playing this week. They're going to have some gusty conditions out there today for their afternoon game, and temperatures will be all right for them. For tomorrow down in Wichita, they're going to be a little bit warmer, right around 60 for the start of their game, and then Sunday up here again, looking like clear skies and right around 60 for the start of the game. For our other sporting events, we have two issues that we're really looking at right now. For women's softball against Baylor, they have about a 60% chance of showers, and this could include some thunderstorms, so that's definitely something to look at for that game tomorrow. And for women's golf at the Yale Invitational, they're also possibly going to see some showers, not really looking to be as severe as what we might seeing in Texas, for instance, but definitely something to kind of keep an eye on for those ladies playing outside. And taking a look at our 7-day forecast, we really are not expecting much weather to be happening. It's really going to be nice and sunny throughout most of the week. Really no chances of rain at all. And our nice high temperatures of the upper mid to mid 70s, they're going to be kind of continuing throughout the rest of next week. So something to kind of look forward to as you're walking around campus. Ryan?
Thank you for tuning into another episode of Good Morning KU Sports. We'll be off the next 2 weeks due to spring break, so we'll see you on the 29th. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure to tune into Playmakers at noon. Rock Chalk.